Okay, I'm going to give you a little routine to do in the round pen. So once you get on, just walk her around once. If you get these reins, have your hands in the blue but close to the red. Okay, so your hand should always be 3 to 4 inches in front of the horn. And then just kind of let your hips move with the horse. The walking horses, you'll feel your hips moving back and forth. Okay. So walk once around just to kind of get them loosened up. So then it's good to make some circles. So you get a little right rein, little right leg, and look where you're going. If yours is bumpy like this, because this kind of goes uphill and downhill, it's not even at all. Just make sure you're paying attention and sitting back, because the horses can always catch their foots on those. Okay, then you walk past the circle you just made, make another circle. So you're going to make circles all around the arena. And you want to kind of trace the circle with your eyes. If you have grass, like this one, she might be like, "Can I have some?" And you say no, keep going. Okay, now we're going to make another circle. So you'll end up making between 4 and 6 circles around a 40-foot round pen. So when you go by the grass area, just kind of pick up on your reins so they don't try to put their head down. And you want to keep moving, because otherwise people make the circle in the same spot. Okay? And the circle's big enough that they can walk around it, but not so big you're on the other side of the round pen. And remember, 4 to 6 circles. So just going to make a couple more circles, and then we're done with their circles. So when you get a new horse, you're trying to practice steering to see how they steer. Use your eyes and use the least amount of leg and hand that you have to steer the horse. You don't want to overdo it and annoy them by constantly telling them what to do. Okay? Lots of them know if you look, but if you're staring at their head, they have no idea where you want to go. So always look in the direction that you want to go, just like driving your car. Okay? All right. So that was your circles. Now we're going to weave on and off the rail, which is called the serpentine. And these are both just bending exercises. So right rein, right leg, left rein, left leg. It's going to look like you're drunk. Right rein, right leg, left rein, left leg. So it's a nice bending exercise, good for pacey horses, good for horses that want to go home fast. Or you're riding with slow people, you can do the serpentine in so many places. But you have to practice it at home to be able to do it well on the trail. Just like anything, you have to practice it at home to do it well on the trail. Okay, so now I make the flower a lot. Let's make a different pattern. So let's make a triangle. I'm going to head towards the gate. You can make all sorts of patterns with your horse. You just got to think about them. Now I'm going to turn and make the other side of my triangle. Just trying to make different things to see if you can control your horse, and then make the bottom of the triangle. There we go. Okay, now we're going to go straight, and then when we get to the other side, we'll make another triangle. But I've made the flower pattern. You guys have seen that. You can make an octagon. You can make anything you want. Okay, so I'm starting my triangle. You're just going across a little bit on the diagonal. You know, pick a point that's going to be the top of your triangle, which is right there for me. And I'm going to turn, push your shoulders over a little bit with my left leg, make the other part of my triangle. And then you're always looking where you're going. Then I'm making the base, so you're holding the horse right in between your hands and your legs. Okay? So that was pretty good. Now let's just walk once around, not doing anything. With her head, when I gate her, I like it level with the horn or below the horn. That's where she usually gates best. With her, if she gets her head up above that, she can get pacey. And so if you keep her head down, she'll gate quite nice. So if she's bringing it up, you just hold pressure on both reins by making a tight fist and then releasing it. Okay, that's once around. So now we're going to breathe out, sit back, take our leg off, and the horse stops magically. If she didn't stop, I would say whoa, and then I would back her up. but she responds to your breath pretty well. So now we're going to do a turn on the forehand. So we're going to use our left rein and left leg. We're going to turn that way. The forehand is their front leg, so their forehand is staying still, and we're pushing the back end around. It's also called disengaging the hindquarters. When you do this, if you use these reins, go up in the red so you make sure it's short enough. So you look to the left, turn the horse's head just a little left, not very much, and then the rest is leg. And then I hold just a little with my hand so she knows not to walk off. If they don't listen or they won't do it, carrying a stick makes a huge difference, and then you just tap them with your stick when they don't respond to your leg. Good girl. Okay, so now we're going to walk around once this way. They won't go. Look, she's like, do we have to do this? I'm like, yes. So now you can loosen your reins just a little bit and go back in the blue, but be close to the red. Okay. Sitting up tall, letting your hips move with your horse. Trying to hold them straight around the round pen. You want to feel the horse right in between your legs and your hands. The hands are guiding, the legs are really what's steering the horse most of the time once you're good. And then you use your seat. Two, you can push with your seat to make them go faster. You want to make sure if you're trying to keep your horse calm that your seat is totally relaxed and your seat is not tensed up at all. Okay, so now we're going to start our circles. So left rein, left leg, you're looking where you're going. If they drift, you use your outside rein and outside leg, which is the right side. So inside, if you hear those terms, you don't know what it means. People get confused with their left and right, so they say inside for the rein that's closest to the inside of the arena. So inside rein to turn them, bend them around your inside leg. And then outside will be my right side. So if this horse starts drifting or going the wrong direction, I would press my right rein and right leg against her. So that's 2 circles. Now we go down a little further. Now we're making 3 circles, inside rein, inside leg. I don't really pull on my inside rein. I just squeeze and relax to help the horse to know to turn. And you want to use the least amount of rein and leg to get your horse to do these things. So always look where you want to go and turn your body where you want to go. So I'm going to turn again. So I'm going to look left. I'm going to squeeze and relax on my left rein. And I'm turning my shoulders to the left. So she feels my upper body move up here. She wants to balance underneath me. And so then she turns left and follows where I'm going. Okay? Now I push her back up to the rail with my left leg. And then we make one last circle. So left rein or inside rein, squeeze, relax. Squeeze, relax. Squeeze, relax. Squeeze, relax. And every time I touch my rein, when I say squeeze, relax, I press lightly with my left leg to hold the horse out. All right, so now we're going to go to our serpentine. So left rein, left leg, right rein, right leg. Or inside rein, inside leg, outside rein, outside leg. And you just do that around the whole arena, just weaving back and forth. Okay? If you have a trippy horse, these exercises, circles and things, and serpentines are good to do because you're trying to keep your horse's mind focused so they pay attention to the footing, because a lot of them don't. All right, so in this direction we'll make the flower. So I'm going to turn left, cut across, pick a place to go, stare at it. Now turn your head left. You're making a petal, so go right back over. So it doesn't matter if you have a round pen or arena pasture, you can make lots of things to do. Okay, left rein, left leg. So when you make the flower, you always turn the same direction in the beginning so you don't get confused. And you're just making petals, okay? Now we have these chickens and roosters over here. Sometimes they pop up or they smack into the round pen. That can scare the horse. If your horse shoots forward, you lean back, pull back and stop them. Back them up. And then always try to face, the object so they can see what it is, and then let them turn their head back and forth and see what it is. All right, so many petals of the flower. Well, lots of people, their horses shoot forward, they, get scared, and you let them do it, and they think that's it's good because that's their instinct. They want to run away, but we want to teach them to spook in place. So you got to teach them that by every time they spook and jump forward, you stop back up so they realize if they try to do that, there's nowhere to go. Okay, so now you're just walking around relaxed. Now we're going to stop her, so deep breath in and out, relax your body, take your leg off. Good girl. Good job. Now we're going to do another turn on the forehand. So right rein and right leg. So just a little rein to see the horse's head tilt. And then it's all leg. And then your opposite rein and leg are blocking them from walking away. Okay, now we give our horse a break, and then we're going to go to the flat walk. Now we're going with flat walk. So I'm holding in the blue right by the red. I'm going to ask her to speed up just a little with both my legs. You see where her head is? It's below the horn. So that's where we're trying to keep it. When the round pen's small, you can't get a lot of speed. It's hard on the horse. So you just practice doing your flat walker with decent speed, keeping a little inside bend because that'll help them to step up with their inside hind leg. Practice looking where you want to go and just keeping the speed consistent. If their head comes up, see your head come up, full pressure, hold, wait till it comes down, and you release just a little. Sometimes in the beginning people release too much pressure, so the horse's head is just going up and down. So first you got to teach them how to put it down, so you can see my video on that. And then after that, you just got to be consistent. So every time they bring it up, you hold. Every time they bring it down, you release just a little bit. And each horse is different, depends on what gait you're getting or what gait you're going for. If you want their head up and down, and then if the horse is trouty or pacey, or if they're relaxed or tense, that head can help you or hurt you. So you want to try and get it where it's helping the horse, and then over time, when they're better and they can gait well, you can change where their head is. But sometimes you have to have it sky high, and sometimes you have to have it very low. The footing in here is not very good. So I usually walk about 5 minutes. Not everybody can do that. So you do what you can. You do 2 minutes, you do 3 minutes, whatever you can. And you always want to stop, not when the horse is trotting or pacing. You want to stop when the horse is doing the right thing. That tells the horse they did a good job. Okay? It gets boring for them, especially in a round pen. But that's where you got to start where you're safe. And it doesn't matter if you're bored. You have to be able to learn to steer your horse and, control it in here. If it spooks in here, you got to be able to control the spook before you go out where there's no walls. Okay, so always spend lots of time. It's better to overdo it, stay longer in the round pen versus going out on the trail and not be ready for things. I'm going to practice it back up. So I just squeeze, release on my reins. Okay, I don't like to pull on horses very much. And so I'll cut across, change our direction. I try to squeeze, release, use my body. I sit back so they know I'm going to back up. Horses are body readers, so if you're good with your body, a lot of times the reins are just guiding. They're not doing too much. Okay? But most people rely on their reins too much. They rely on their reins, for everything, for their balance, for their steering. Start trying to use your legs, your seat, your eyes, and then learn to balance yourself over your horse. I posted that video with the yoga ball. That's a good exercise to do. There's lots of things you can do to try to make your balance better. Even the balance boards, it doesn't matter that you're standing or sitting. You're trying to make your balance better, and the only way to do that is to practice. Okay? So again, we're going to hold pressure, keep her head kind of below the horn. And then we're going to do this for about 5 minutes, which is going to bore Minnie and bore me, but that's okay because we want her used to being ridden in a round pen. And this arena, it might be like many of yours, it's not dragged very much. The footing's not great, but at least we have one. So that footing will affect your horse. It might pace, it might trot. So you stay below those speeds. If the footing's really bad, there's only so much you can do to help that horse gait when the footing's bad. So I try to make sure all my clients, students, Minnie's like, let's be done. know how to do everything well before I take them out on the trail, because if you don't, that's when you have accidents, because you really have no idea how to ride. So you want to be able to counteract maneuvers. You want to be paying attention, pay attention to what's going on around you, and never forget that you're on a horse. It's not a vehicle, and they do react to things. So you'll never see me really riding like this, and a lot of people want to ride like that. I ride a lot of horses in training, so most of these horses are learning things, and I have to help them. So it's the same thing with the newbies. It's much more difficult to shorten up your reins when you're a new person. So I could do it, but it's good to practice just picking your reins up. Say you're on a long rein, pick your reins up, grab your reins. Here you can see the colors, so you can see where to grab the blue, and it's really easy. So you're on a long rein, pick it up, grab it with one hand, but you got to practice that over and over again, or you're not good at it. But I recommend most people, beginners or people don't pay attention, just keep your reins short, keep your hands in front of you. You don't have to pull on the horse, but that way if something does happen, you're ready to pick up, and then you're ready to steer. I see lots of people neck reining, and even when they're short, it's okay, but if something jumps out from the right, the horse, of course, is going to go left, and if they don't pay attention to your neck rein, well, they're just going to spin off to the left. So, again, until you know the horse really well, you have a good seat, and you know you're not going to fall off, keep two hands on the reins. So that way, if they spook left, you just pull right, and what do you know, you're straight again, and then you're fine. But if you don't, and you're like this, and then the horse spins around, you're trying to grab the horn, all of that's a bad scenario. Okay, it could have just been prevented if you keep two hands on the reins, and we don't have to be lazy. We can ride the horse. They're carrying us the whole time. So, if the horse has been neck reining all its life, it's really good at it. That's different. You might be okay, but still, you're going to be much stronger and much safer with two hands versus one.